Hi, this is Iris Novas Cooney from Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Jersey, the government programs end. Today joins me my colleague, Rolando Cabrera, who's going to talk briefly about NJ Family Care and Medicaid enrollment application. Rolando?
Hello, everyone. My name is Rolando. I'm from Horizon New Jersey Health. I'm a community health representative, and I represent the Medicaid program for Horizon. So just real briefly, what I do is I do community outreach with organizations and individuals, and also promote community health. A large part of that is assisting anyone who's uninsured and who needs help in applying for New Jersey Family Care or Medicaid, as it is also known. So just a little information about who we are. Horizon New Jersey Health is New Jersey's largest managed healthcare organization that serves the publicly insured. We are one of the health management organizations that are offered through New Jersey Family Care / Medicaid. We have over 850,000 members in New Jersey. We provide service in every county. That's all 21 counties. We are the largest provider network. We have been in New Jersey the longest. Some of you are maybe familiar with us, may have had New Jersey Family Care, or someone knows someone who has, or may have it now or had it in the past. It is a state / federal program that's funded by each level of government there. And in order to qualify for Medicaid, just real briefly, you have to be uninsured, you have to live in New Jersey, you have to meet a legal status requirement of being a U.S. citizen or a qualified legal immigrant, and then based on that, you have to make below 138% of the federal poverty line. And then there are other categories depending on family size and the age of the family members. So that's all I have. I'll take it back over to my coworker Iris. Thank you.
Thanks, Rolando. So as a community health education manager, we are tasked to provide evidence-based implementation and initiatives around disease management and prevention. As part of our overall comprehensive initiatives, we provide healthy food demos, right? In order to showcase some healthy options, we review the MyPlate method, and also how to highlight the use of beautiful veggies and fruits with some healthier proteins in a delicious and healthy way. So today we're gonna go over how to make a healthy chicken salad. And if you look at this view screen, we have a variety of different fruits and vegetables. And I just want to review with you the MyPlate method, which is the flyer that's right in front of you. It kind of breaks up the different categories of the MyPlate method. And if anyone remembers, the MyPlate method replaces the food pyramid, which I was taught when I was in grade school and high school and college many moons ago. The food pyramid was quite confusing, right? And not very applicable to day-to-day food preparation and eating. But with the MyPlate, everyone kind of can relate because most of us eat off of a plate around the world. So every time you look at your plate, you can create this category to make sure that you have all the different parts of the nutrition guidelines and categories, right? The fruits, vegetables, proteins, grains, and then on the side here are the dairy products. So every time you look at your plate, you can kind of make sure that you have a balanced portions of every category. Another piece to this MyPlate method is the mixture of colors, right? So one of the things that we like to emphasize is to make sure every time you prepare your food that you have a variety of colors within the category, especially on this side, your fruits and your veggies, right? You wanna make sure that you see the rainbow within. And if you look at this, what ingredients we're gonna use today, it looks pretty colorful. It looks like the colors of the rainbow. So that's what you want to look for every time you eat anything, right? Whether it's in a plate or in a sandwich, you want to make sure that there's a variety of the different categories, that you can name those different categories in order for you to get a better gauge as to how nutritious your diet truly is, right? But beyond nutritious, you want to enjoy it, right? Because we want to be able to enjoy healthy food that we look forward to eating, right? And it also serves a double purpose of fueling ourselves even better, because our first medicine comes from our plate. Our food is our medicine. So in order to keep us healthy and well-maintained, our nutrition is very important. Now, if you look at another portion of this MyPlate method, is the different categories have specific portions, right? So half of your plate should always be made up of fruits and vegetables. You want to build half of what you're eating and get fuller on this category. If you look on this side of the plate, you have your grains and your protein. Now, if the grain, the good measure for a grain should be a quarter, right? Quarter grain, quarter protein, and a good measure of that would be the size of your fist. Now, everyone's fist is a little bit different, and also this is a good gauge as to how much you really need, right? Because if you put both fists together, this is about the size of your stomach, right? So this is about how much you should be eating if you're having 3 square meals, okay? This is your portion. So when you look at your plate, you want to make sure that about this size is in grains. That's your pastas, your brown rice, quinoa, farro, your breads, and always look for whole grain in that main ingredient, right, in this category, because that means that they're keeping the integrity as close as possible to the actual grain, which has all the fiber and the nutrients, right? The more refined breads like white bread or just regular white rice tends to be highly processed, bleached, right? And it strips away the nutritious value of the grain. So always look for whole grain, brown rice, jasmine rice, closest to the actual grain. Okay, and then down here are the proteins. Now your proteins are your meats, right? Your beans are also considered protein. And something that we're going to use today is Greek yogurt, which falls in the dairy category, but it does have a great deal of protein. And this is another thing that we're going to learn to do as you're preparing your food, to make sure that some of the ingredients that you're using have both benefits, right? So for more specific information, that flyer is available via email, and it could be shared to the group as well. So today, we're gonna make a healthy chicken salad, right? And I started prepping. If you look at this screen over here, Haral, you can unpin the flyer, please. If you look at this screen over here where the bowl is, I started prepping the ingredients, but I also left some behind because I just wanted to show how to do this carefully. You always want to start your food preparation with clean hands. So please make sure that you use soap and warm water and wash your hands thoroughly before you touch food. If you are sick, please try to, and you're preparing food for your family, please try to, use a face covering. Ideally, you shouldn't be cooking, but if you have to prepare meals for your family and you're not feeling well, please use a face covering and make sure that you're washing your hands thoroughly, because you don't want to cross-contaminate the food preparation and contaminate anybody else, okay? So today we're going to use and name the different categories of fresh fruits and vegetables, right? And we're going to bring it back to the MyPlate method in order to pull everything together, right? So we're going to start with a fruit. So I have a piece of apple here that I wanted to add to my chicken salad because apples tend to have a really nice bite. For finicky eaters, especially children, it tends to sweeten whatever it is that you're preparing, and it's also integrating the fruit category within the MyPlate method, so it has double purpose. Now sometimes apples get like a little damaged, okay? Don't throw it out. You could still use it because the rest of the apple is perfectly fine, okay? So what I encourage folks to do is to just cut that end, okay, and use the rest of it, right? Now the peel of the apple, it has a lot of nutritional value. It's really good roughage, so it makes your belly happy, right? It helps clean out waste in the body. But if you cut it in cubes, as you're eating it and mixing up, as you mix it with your preparation of the chicken salad, and as you're eating it, you don't feel the peel as much for those finicky eaters. So the way that I do this is very carefully. You slice them long ways and cube it, okay? And make sure that you're going nice and easy, especially if you are not agile with a knife, okay? You need a sturdy surface, okay? And just turn it to the side. So if you see here, they're all in long pieces, and then you're just gonna cut it the other way to cube your apple. And that, again, falls in the fruit category, okay? Now, I'm agile with the knife, but I always go very slowly because, you know, cooking is very therapeutic for me, and part of healthier nutrition is to kind of be mindful and in the space as you're preparing your food, because it really does something mentally for you to kind of welcome the food that you're making right into the body. So look for the different colors, listen for the sounds of different textures, also the smells, like using all your senses while you're preparing the food. I also have a piece of cucumber as part of my salad. And again, I want to cut long ways and then cube it, right? And just very gently put them together, and then we're going to cube it. And if you look at the colors, there's the white in the core of your cucumber, and the dark green of the peel. And again, the peel of a cucumber has a lot of fiber and nutrients in them. So any fruits, I always encourage folks, any vegetables and fruits that that you can eat the peel, I would encourage you to do so. And if you have finicky eaters, just cube it real small and integrate it to whatever it is that you're making. And then to add another, now the cucumber is in the vegetable category, okay? To add more color and texture, I'm gonna, I had this red pepper, right? And I already cubed some, but I also wanted to demonstrate how to cube it. Now, sometimes the skin is a little bit waxy, so if you turn it on the inside and you cut long ways, you can cube it nicely. Everything looks uniform. And it does bring a nice pop of color to your dish. Now, red peppers have a lot of vitamin C. They're full of water too. Cucumbers as well. So it kind of gels everything together when you're mixing the rest of the ingredients. And you just add it to your dish. I also like the different textures in taste. Like salt and sweet and savory. So I have a piece of jalapeno This jalapeno was a little bit sweeter. It really isn't that spicy, but jalapenos are tricky because some of them are very spicy and some of them are really mild, almost sweet peppers, right? So just be mindful, but you want to play around with these dishes. You know, introduce different types of vegetables, different types of fruit, and mix them in. And really, if you are not an avid vegetable eater, what you can do is integrate, you know, all the vegetables or a variety of vegetables that you like and that you enjoy. And if you're introducing a new vegetable, you know, start small. I had already cut a little bit in here, right? But again, I'm demonstrating, you would just cut the end, right? Cut the end and cut it in half. And again, you want to cut it long ways and cube it. So if this is a piece, it was cut long ways, and we're gonna keep cubing. And everything tends to look uniform. And kids really love the difference in like textures and colors. You know, they're much more mindful of using all of their senses, and this is a way that you can really integrate enjoying and being participatory in the prepping of your meals. Now we're going to take some celery, and same thing, we're going to cut it long ways. And we're going to put it together here and cube it. And add it to the rest of the ingredients. And we have onion. And we're gonna cube it. Again, cut it long ways. Put all the long pieces together and cube it. Now, a way to reduce the tearing effect of onions as you're prepping is once you cut the onion and peel back the dry pieces, you can just run it under some cold water, and it will help reduce the enzyme that's released from the onion that provokes that teary effect or makes your eyes water. And we're just gonna throw that in with the rest of the stuff. Over here I have canned corn. And again, it's just to add another dimension of a vegetable, right? And if you look here, I just wanna highlight to always look at the labels when you're using foods in a can or a box, and read how many servings this one can offers. So this can offers 3.5 serving, and each serving is about 60 calories. So I use about a third. So you figure it's about 60 calories just from the corn, okay? So make sure that you're reading the labels, just so that you're familiar and you have some concept of the calories that you're consuming, okay? And over here we have our lemon. Now our lemon I'm gonna use as part of the dressing. Before I do that, I'm just gonna cut the avocado so I can add it later, okay? And with an avocado, you tend to, I tend to hold it steady on the board and just kind of cut around it, okay? And it kind of separates, you see? And look at how beautiful those colors are. I'm just gonna put this on the side. And the way I like to do it is I cube it in the peel, right? So you just kind of run the knife. If you don't have good dexterity with a sharp knife, use a butter knife. You could just run long lines this way, and again cube it this way, right? And it creates the cubes, and I'll show you how to scoop it out in a little bit. You want to take out that little pit so it doesn't get mixed in with your salad, and we're just going to put that on the side. Now, I like to use Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise. It's a much healthier option. I prefer it over mayonnaise, but also it has a lot of protein in it. So with this entire container contains 8 servings, right? So, and each serving is about 100 calories. So 2/3 of a cup is about 100 calories. Really don't use all that much because we're using this to moisten the chicken, right? And as a dressing for our salad, but you figure it's gonna be about a little under 100 calories. Now with Greek yogurt, this is unsweetened, just plain Greek yogurt. It really is very versatile. I like to throw it in my kids' pancake batter just to moisten the batter too and added protein. But you could also use it with like savory stuff, right? Like with meat sauces or salad dressing or things to moisten things. The same way, I tend to use it the same way as you would use mayonnaise, right? So I'm gonna add some of the Greek yogurt onto this dish here, right? Just to moisten everything. And that's about 2/3 of a cup, right? I'm gonna cover this up. And then in here, I'm gonna add fresh olive oil. This is extra virgin olive oil. And with extra virgin olive oil, it's really a great fat for your heart health. It's an antioxidant. But with these oils that are healthier, the best way to consume them is raw, right? If you cook them, it cooks out any of the nutritious value that the oil has, right? So I'm sorry. Haral, my cat just went on my, get down. Okay, go for it. So extra virgin olive oil is really a great fat, for as an antioxidant, for cardiovascular health, for cellular health. But the best way to use it is uncooked. Make sure that it's raw. So you could always add it a little bit of raw extra virgin olive oil to any dish, right? But this is great for salads too. So I'm just gonna add that, a nice amount. Okay, and then I'm gonna use dry herbs and ingredients to give more flavor to the chicken salad. So I really love Himalayan salt. You don't need a lot to give that nice kind of gel effect that salt has. And you also want to be mindful if you are required to have a low sodium fat diet, you really need to make sure that you're reading the labels and reading where it says sodium, right? So over here it says there's 65 milligrams of sodium within that one serving, right? So be mindful of this. And what I'm preparing today, it's not just for me, right? I'm preparing it for my family. So you figure for each serving, once it's all done, it's gonna cut the total amount of the sodiums, right, by the portion. So be mindful of reading the label so that you have a guesstimate of how much sodium things already have before you add more salt to them, okay? So I like to use Himalayan salt, so I'm just gonna add a dab of that. I like to put it in my hand because sometimes I can be heavy-handed, so it'll give me a good gauge. And I just take about that much and I throw it in, okay? And then I'm gonna put some pepper, black pepper. And I really love this or the organic no salt seasoning blend. This one's from Kirkland, but every supermarket or bodega or dollar stores, they have a section where they have dry herbs, right? And what you want to look for is the no salt dry herbs, and you can get them in a variety. You can get the mix like this one, which has oregano, garlic, carrot, black pepper, bell peppers, tomatoes, bay leaves, thyme, basil. This is all in here, right? But they have the different categories if you have a preference, right? So you can make your own, or you can buy them pre-mixed. I really love this one, but you can also buy the individual, and they're very inexpensive. A big container like this at a dollar store is about $1 or maybe like a little over $1, and you can make your own mixed seasoning, which for the Hispanic community would be like adobo, right? So, and it's no salt. So you can add salt to taste for you, but it's also an added bonus when you know that the salt is not coming from the herbs, okay? So I really love to use this, this one in my seasoning, when I season meats or when I season, pastas or dressings. I really love this one. And then I really like to have the mix of spiciness, right, with a little bit of heat. So I'll add crushed peppers to this. And then the last thing that I'm gonna do is take some lemon for the dressing, right? And I'm gonna mix all of this together before I add my chicken. So you wanna stab the lemon like this, cut it in half, stab the lemon with a fork, and just be mindful of the seeds. Sometimes the seeds are still stuck in there. But you could also pick them out, okay? So we're gonna stab it and go right to the center, okay? And squeeze around the fork. That way you're getting all the juices out simultaneously, right? And we're gonna mix all of these ingredients together, okay? First, use a spoon. I like to use a spoon just to make sure that everything gels together with the Greek yogurt, because the Greek yogurt is very thick, right? And then I'll use my fork to make sure that everything is mixing just right. So I'm gonna mix everything together. And it smells delicious. Like as all the ingredients are gelling with each other, you know, this is really healthy way to moisten your protein, which is the chicken, in a healthier way, and act as dressing. Right. Then we're gonna take our, I have canned chicken, so like this could be tuna, salmon, chicken. It could be regular chicken, whatever protein you want to add to it. But this is a really inexpensive way to feed your family, and it's healthier, right? But again, I would encourage you to read the label, right? And this entire container has about 3.5 servings, right? And each serving is 60 calories, right? And the sodium is about 210 milligrams. So be mindful that in this can, the meat has salt already. Okay, so you wanna, before you add more salt, you wanna taste it first to see if it's appeasing. And especially if you need a low sodium diet, you don't wanna add more salt. So it kind of looks like this, and we're gonna add our meat. Right. And just gonna put that up here. And with our fork, you just want to break up the chicken chunks. And it kind of looks like tuna, but it's really chicken. Okay. And we're going to just mix it up really well. And if you keep looking, it resembles somewhat like tuna, but this is chicken. Okay, and this is something great that you can do with your kids because they can mix all the ingredients together. They're actively helping you, and it's also helping them to kind of be more mindful about integrating their food portions, food categories, the importance of not wasting food, right? And being mindful of what goes into their body. So you see how that kind of just gels everything together, right? Just make sure that all the big chunks are broken up in the bottom, right? And today I'm gonna use arugula as my base, right? So arugula here is a really beautiful green. It's peppery and delicious. And one of those containers of arugula are very durable, right? So they have a really nice shelf life. So I'm just gonna add them to this ingredient. So once I have this down, you wanna make sure that you're adding your greens. And just grab something to mix it with, and very carefully mix all of these ingredients together, right? And if you keep looking, right, all of the vegetables and your fruit are gelling together. And then we're gonna add the star of the show, which is our avocado, that adds some extra moisture, creaminess to any food. And it is just delicious. So everything is gelled together over here, right? And we're just gonna scoop out the avocado cubes with a spoon. So you take your spoon and you just take one end and scoop it out, kind of running it along the skin, right? Not be wasteful. I will eat whatever's left on the spoon. And again, just want to mix everything together, right? The cubes, and then serve onto a dish. So take your dish and you serve the base of the salad, and looking at all the different categories of the MyPlate, right? And then we're gonna add our protein into here. And there you have it. Chicken salad. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. Please be mindful about integrating all the healthy portions into your every meal that you consume. Please stay connected with us. Should you have any questions or need any assistance, our information will be posted at the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining us today.